You're watching KOMO TV4 in Seattle. Now, live at 11 o'clock, KOMO News 4.
Good evening. A freeway murderer is on the loose.
Tonight, authorities still have no suspects. The crime is especially terrifying because it could have happened to any of us. A gunman pulls alongside of you on the freeway and aims his handgun at you. It happened to Todd Musselman of Tacoma with deadly results. Nightside reporter Josephine Cheng has the story, as well as what you can do to avoid situations like that.
It was foggy early Sunday when Todd Musselman was driving home with his pregnant wife on Highway 512 in Parkland. His wife told police an older white car pulled up next to them, apparently irritated that they were driving slowly. The passenger rolled down his window and shot Todd in the head. He died 12 hours later.
We've got to stop it some way. What's this world coming to if you can't even drive down the freeway safe?
And Kevin Laxo can tell you it's not just freeways. He was driving up Queen Anne 2 months ago when a gunman in another car fired 3 rounds at him. He survived after doctors removed bullets from his wrist and thigh. Most drivers don't need experts to tell them. It's scary out there.
The normal person gets angry 15 times a day.
That's why driving lessons now often include a lesson in avoiding confrontation. Here's what Jin Sop Lee has learned to do if another driver is rude to him.
Don't give him the finger, but wave at him and smile. It's a much better effect.
Easier said than done? Maybe. It's a rare driver who never gets mad. But people are thinking twice before giving in to anger. Listen, this man had a car dog him for blocks.
When he started pretending to hit my car, I felt like doing the same thing, but then I didn't want to start anything more than was already going on.
This truck driver had an impertinent car pass him on a freeway on-ramp.
When I start getting upset, I just turn the radio up louder and start singing.
Do whatever you have to, experts say, to avoid confrontation. If someone is tailgating you, pull over. If someone cuts in front of you, back off. If you must swear, keep it to yourself. No one is saying Todd Musselman could have avoided his tragedy. The point is, whenever you can, don't provoke the other driver. He or she may have a very short fuse.
Josephine, do police have any clue at all as to who shot Musselman?
No, no suspects, but there is a description of the car, a large 2-door 70s model, white or tan with tinted windows. If you saw the car on Highway 512 early Sunday, the Pierce County Sheriff's Office wants to hear from you. There's a reward, too, $6,000 put up by the Todd Musselman's family and the authorities.
Unfortunately, that's a pretty broad description of cars
They don't have much more than that.
Thank you.
You might remember highway shootings used to be at near epidemic proportions in California.
An armed driver is in custody there tonight after a bizarre spree. The assault rifle this policeman's holding is the one the driver allegedly used. Police say the 19-year-old driver sped around the West LA police station in a stolen car, firing this gun out the window. They wound up chasing him down a freeway. Finally, the car's tires blew out and officers took the man into custody. Amazingly, nobody got hurt.
Now the newest information in the E. coli outbreak. Another new victim is in a local hospital. Doctors aren't sure yet how 7-year-old Jamie Crawford got E. coli poisoning. She didn't eat a Jack in the Box hamburger, but she played with a cousin who had and might have infected her. That would be a case of so-called secondary infection. 15 such cases are confirmed now out of 348 total cases of E. coli poisoning all around western Washington. Tonight, the president of Jack in the Box is visiting this area. Robert Nugent is here trying to assure workers and customers that his company is doing all it can to make sure an outbreak like this never happens again. Tomorrow, the new U.S. Agriculture Secretary will be in Olympia. Mike Espy will tell the state Senate how the Clinton administration can help. Tonight, KOMO's Bob Throndsen got an earful on that from a Tacoma mother whose daughter is sick with E. coli. She says politicians and business must listen for the sake of the children.
This didn't have to happen, and it could have just as easily been your child instead of my child. And I find it appalling that dollars and cents become valued over human life.
Your mom talks for you when you are only 2. Casey Thomas cannot tell the politicians or business how much she hurts inside. how much someone's carelessness has threatened her life. That's what moms are for.
90% of the
And
cases
Casey's mom hopes the right people will listen to the voices of the sick, the hurting, the kids. Listen and do something.
I'm not angry. I'm really not angry. I'm frightened. I'm frightened for my daughter's present health and for her future health, because I understand that this is a disease that can sneak up on her later on and cause her kidney problems or other damages to her health. And as a parent, you do everything you can to protect your child. And it would have never occurred to me to protect my child from a kid's hamburger.
So if you are listening, Mr. Secretary Espy, or meatpacking plant, or fast food place, pay attention to Casey and her mom. After all, they are the ones hurting tonight. They are the ones who must live with the decisions you make and the decisions you don't make. Bob THRONDSEN, KOMO News 4, Tacoma.
Doctors don't yet know how Casey Thomas was infected with E. coli, but she may have to go undergo exploratory surgery soon if her bleeding does not stop.
A major development tonight in the dispute between Boeing and its second biggest union. Tonight, leaders of SPEEA, the Engineers and Technicians Union, decided to let the workers rethink their rejection of Boeing's best and final offer. KOMO's aviation specialist Rick Price has the latest developments.
SPEEA members came out of their closed-door meeting after 3 hours with the news that could settle their dispute with Boeing. Members will vote again on the contract offer they rejected December 7th.
It's going to be mixed, and we cannot change things overnight in the matter of a few months. It's going to take another 3 to 6 years.
It's a difficult situation right now in the country, you know, and each person has to individually decide what they're going to do.
SPEEA members voted down Boeing's offer for 2 big reasons. They want to shift some money from pay for performance, called selectives, to a wage increase that everybody gets, and they want a better cost of living allowance formula.
He gets his message.
Those issues were enough to drive SPEEA to its first strike ever, but now union leaders say those issues will probably have to wait for the next contract.
People have decided to focus on the long-term struggle rather than just a short-term struggle, and they've decided to reel in the gains that they've achieved over the last 3 years and lock those in with this contract and then continue the fight.
For SPEEA and its members, accepting an offer they've already rejected is a tough decision. But with production cuts and layoffs hanging over their heads, it may be the only choice they've got. Rick Price, KOMO News 4.
SPEEA will mail ballots to all its members beginning tomorrow. Members can vote to accept the contract, reject it and go on strike, or reject it and wait for a negotiated settlement. The votes will be counted February 12th. Seattle Mayor Norm Rice says Boeing's trouble should be a wake-up call, but in his annual State of the City address this afternoon, Mayor Rice said it's no reason to shy away from risk-taking.
I reject the